What's up, doll collectors, hobbyists, fabs, and besties? I'm Toya, an adult doll collector. Welcome to my miniverse. Let's start the day with a tiny task. Now that we've changed the nightstand or side table, I want to change that. The TV stand that we made in this video. I have some leftover paper, and we can print more if needed. We will also be using a few scraps of foam board. Instead of using this as a TV stand, I was thinking we could make a stand for our record player. So it could be a background piece and I don't have to position my couch to face it. To hold the record player, I need to make it about 2¼ inches wide. Let's carefully take it apart. We can reuse this piece. Let's break the caps apart. We're only going to use 3 with their lids. Let's take the board that we salvaged, cut it to the length of each cap to go underneath. I cut a couple of scraps to 2¼ inches. I place the cap, covered foam board, and a record onto the scrap of foam board to see where I need to cut. For me, that's at 3½ inches. I cut 2 to those measurements. I cut 2 rectangles at 4¼ inch. I cut another piece of foam board that is the length of all 3 caps and 2 pieces of foam board. For me, it's a little under 8½ inches. I use that board to cut another rectangle that is the same length plus 2 pieces of foam board. The shorter one will be for the bottom shelf and the longer one for the top. I cover all the foam board with paper. Now let's glue it together. I take one cap and glue a board underneath. I glue the 3½ inch boards on the sides. It looks kind of like the side table. Let's add the other 2 caps to the sides. So there are 3 caps going across the top. Take one of the 4¼ inch boards, glue it to the side, add the bottom board, the other side, and the top. And this is when you find out if your measurements were off. Mine are off just a little, but hopefully we can distract the eye with a little room clutter. Like our DIY record player and a few of our printable records that we can place underneath. We can add a few books and maybe a VHS tape or 2. We have a Wicked inspired one, and we have a VHS tape inspired by Barbie the movie. We might need a few more. So I made a new printable with a Sweethearts theme, giving us a few quick crafts for Valentine's Day. I actually started this printable for our Kawaii Mini Brands video. I gave the hearts little cute faces, but I ran out of time because I kept adding stuff. We have a candy box. That was the first idea. A new record, a few cards, and a new book with an original story. It's about love. There's a printable for a candle on the side, and we have a new VHS tape inspired by When Harry Met Sally. When we did that scrapbook paper review, I couldn't get this out of my head. These printables are available on our blog, MyFroggyStuff.blogspot.com, to download for free. The record is pretty easy. We just made one in a previous video. All we have to do is cut it out, cut out both sides of the vinyl record, glue them onto cardstock, cut them out, glue them back to back. If you want to shine, just add clear tape. I use a push pin to make a hole in the center. Take the sleeve, fold over the tabs, add glue to the tabs, then fold over the front so it is being glued to those tabs to make a pocket to hold the record, giving us a new mini for the shelf. The VHS tape is made pretty similar. There are 4 parts. I glue the tape onto layers of black cardstock, cut them out, and repeat, gluing the 2 sides together until it is thick enough for the side label. Take the sleeve or cover and fold on the lines and glue the tabs. I use tweezers to help get into some of the smaller areas to complete our VHS tape and give the dolls a new rom-com to enjoy. The dolls might want a snack to go with that movie. So I made a few printable candy boxes. If you want to print them on cardstock, I made another printable for that too. Here you will find 2 candy boxes that we can cut out. Someone on my creative team suggested that I label where to glue, so I did. Now we can just fold on the lines. I like to trace over the lines first with a ruler and a dotting tool to help make my folds a little neater. Then glue where it says glue. I glued the side first, then the bottom, to make a miniature box of candy hearts where the top is left open. If you don't want the top left open, you can always glue it down. Since the printable has two boxes, we can have one that's open and one that's closed. And the ones made out of paper are pretty sturdy too. Now that you've mastered boxes, in our Kawaii Mini Brands video, some of you wanted a cereal box, so I put one on the printable. It's made the same way, it's just a little larger, to make a box of crafty mini hearts. On the back, we have a to and from, so you can give one as a gift to the collector in your life. But Toya, they're empty boxes. I bought this hole punch at Michael's a while back. It makes tiny little hearts. We can try to use it on craft foam to make miniature sweethearts, or we can use it on cardstock. I included a few color blocks on the printable that we can cut out, fold in half, and glue the two sides together, then punch or cut out a few hearts. Well, maybe more than a few. So we have something to put into the boxes. I like the paper because it has a little bit more weight and makes a sound when you shake it. For the cereal box, let's cut a Ziploc bag, tape the sides, to make a smaller baggie where we can pour all of the cereal inside. If you're good at melting the bags, you can always do that. I'm not, so I went with tape. Then we can place it into the cereal box so they are no longer empty boxes. Toya, what's that box? In our Kawaii Mini Brands video, we found a heart-shaped pizza, and we made one of our own. We have a pizza box and a couple of printed pizzas. Let's cut them out, fold the pizza box, and we're going to glue those tabs just like before to make the box. It is Lots of Love pizza, and it looks like a large pizza for a doll. I got on my tablet and I drew this heart-shaped pizza. Sorry, I am not as skilled as Bella, but we're trying here. And we're just gonna cut it out. There's a front and a back, and we're gonna glue those together, trim where needed, for a quick printable pizza to go in the box. For those nights where the dolls need a quick meal, I included a few extra pizzas so we can experiment with adding a little texture. I'm just gonna go over this with hot glue to see if this works. To make the crust pop out, maybe we can paint it so it's more of a pizza color. While waiting for it to dry, let's cut out a few Valentine's Day cards and fold them in half, then in half again. Use glue on the back, then fold them again to add a few cards to the decor. I add a second coat of paint to the pizza, and this time I'm tapping it to give it a little more texture. While waiting, let's go back to the first printable and cut out the candle. I'm using gold washi tape. I wrap it around the cap of a glue stick, then add the strip of paper, glue it to a scrap of paper, fill it with hot glue, and add a small piece of cardstock. Allow the glue to cool, then add the label to make a quick candle. And you can cover it with tape if you want a little shine. On our pizza, let's add a little red paint for tomato sauce. Let's add a little hot glue for more texture for the cheese. Then paint it with a little acrylic paint and allow it to dry. While waiting, let's cut out the book, fold on the lines, make all the pages go accordion style, gluing behind them. I glue on the last couple of pages, and then we're gonna just glue that back cover going around to make a mini book with readable pages. There we go. There's the words. I added a cover to the cardstock page with a bookmark. We can cut them out and glue the book into the cover so it's a little sturdier. Glue the bookmark back to back, then use it in the book. On the pizza, let's add a little brown paint to some of the highest points and around the edge on the crust. I mix an orange marker and Mod Podge to make a tinted glaze, And let's add just a little bit in some of the dips. I might have added more than a little bit. Let's seal it with another layer of Mod Podge. While waiting for it to dry, let's talk about this hole punch. It cuts out a fork, a knife, and a spoon. I paid $9.99, however, on the official website, this one right here, it was currently $8.99. I used it on a few layers of cardstock to see if it was a good size for the dollhouse. Where'd they go? Here they are. Using a glue stick, we can glue a few together, then bend it before the glue dries, paint it or color it with an acrylic marker to make a miniature fork, knife, and spoon. Here it is in a doll's hand, and here it is with a calico critter. In the comments, some of you wanted us to try it on some foil paper. This is a pretty thick paper, so let's see if it works. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. And no, it's kind of stuck. Got it. And here are the cutouts. Not bad. It is solid on the other side, but not bad. It's nice and shiny. We can bend it a little, but you might end up with a few dents. For the ones I made out of cardstock, I used 3 layers. I love the idea of being able to make forks, knives, and spoons in any color whenever I want. So I'm totally going to use this. And now that our pizza is done drying, we can add it to the pizza box. Or go with the printed one. We have options. With all these printables we just made, our dolls can celebrate Valentine's Day by lighting a candle to relax, put on some music, hand out a few cards, order a pizza, then read a good book, or watch a movie, because they have options. I love making minis inspired by mini brands. Let us know in the comments down below what you would like to see next. Thank you for joining us while we made a few minis. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Fanbase, Instagram, and YouTube at MyFroggyStuff and Bella of MyFroggyStuff on Instagram. And we will see you next time. Bye!